see she's a woman, yes, a woman, of all seasons.
Have you ever been in a season of waiting? A season when everything was just so dry and you felt so barren, whether it is a barrenness physically, because maybe you wanted to bring forth a physical child and it wasn't happening, or even barrenness in terms of finances, when you were doing all that you knew to do, but your finances were still not coming forth and you were still feeling dry and barren. Or even if it's job or career, where you're looking for the job, you're looking to fit into your career, and it's not coming forth. You're not finding what you're looking for. You're not getting called for interviews. And even when you do get called for interviews, you're not getting that other call that says we've accepted you. And those seasons of dryness and barrenness and waiting, whatever you may be waiting for, even relationships, sometimes it could be a spouse you're waiting for. You feel it's time for you to settle down. You've prayed, you've waited, you've prepared yourself in all ways, but the spouse doesn't seem to be coming forth. And seasons of waiting can be very frustrating. They can literally paralyze you into sometimes even fear and panic that what you're waiting for will never come. But I'm going to tell you a couple of things you need to know about each of the seasons in your life. And one of the things in any season in your life is you must discern the nature of the season. Understanding that you're in a season of waiting is halfway to knowing how to deal with that season. So understanding the nature of the season, you see dryness, you see barrenness and productivity and fruitfulness, then you know you've understood the nature of the season. Lest you think you're in a harvest breakthrough season and you self-deceive, but you're really in a dry, barren season. Because how you position yourself, which is my next point, matters depending on the season. So the next thing is how you position yourself in that season. What do I mean by position? I mean what attitudes or attitude are you going to walk with? What garments? Garments are attitudes. Just like in a physical weather, in the winter, in the rainy season, in the hot season, what garments should you wear which are suitable for that season? So likewise, symbolically in seasons of your life, the question is, what garments should you wear during that season? What attitude should you adopt? And in the season of waiting, the attitude to adopt is a season of patience, is a season of remaining open, remaining patient, not taking things into your own hands, and waiting for the right timing for God to do what He needs to do in your life. That will be a right attitude and a right positioning. The other thing is you must understand the purpose of the season. Why am I going through a season of dryness and unproductivity and barrenness? Why can't the child just come forth? Why can't I just get a job? Those seasons have a purpose. Perhaps you're not ready for the job. Perhaps you're not ready for the baby. You're not ready to be a mother. Perhaps you're not ready to be a wife. And God needs to prepare you. He needs to mold you and shape you into what you need to be able to handle that blessing in your life. So the purpose of such a season of waiting is actually to prepare you and to make you ready and to remove anything in your life that needs to be removed in order for you to receive what you need to receive and conceive your purpose or your destiny or your physical child or the career or the job or the finances. Now, the other thing you need to ask yourself is, which people am I going to encounter in this season? Because in every season, you'll encounter different types of people. In the season of waiting, you'll encounter those who are not waiting. They actually have already come into their own miracles and their own blessings. So some may mock you, seriously. Like if you remember the story of Peninnah in the Bible, when Hannah, in 1 Samuel chapter 1, when Hannah was waiting to conceive a baby, and Peninnah already had so many babies, and there were co-wives married by the same man, Elkanah, Peninnah used to mock Hannah. So you will encounter people who will mock you because they can see you're in a barren season and you're not bringing forth your miracle. And then there'll be those people who may encourage you. There are others who may be like you, who are also waiting. So you'll be fellow waiters together. So they'll encourage you and edify you. And you'll learn a lot from one another. And then there'll be another one. And this is like the husband of Hannah in the Bible, like Elkanah, who have no revelation as to what you're waiting for and how desperate you are to receive what you're waiting for. And they may want to belittle your desperation or your yearning. And they will want to persuade you, not maliciously, not in bad intentions, sometimes with the best intentions. They may want to persuade you to accept less than what you know you're supposed to be getting. They'll tell you, just take any job, it's okay, just accept any man who comes to marry you, it's all right. But you know what God has promised you. And those people are average mediocres who may want you to lower your standards or to let go of the best that God wants to give you and to shortchange yourself. So those are the kind of characters you will meet during the season of waiting. And the question is how to respond and relate with them. Like for a Penina, you don't waste your time. You don't waste your airtime mocking them back or trying to respond or justify. Just allow Penina to provoke you to even push harder for your miracle. The same way Hannah allowed Penina's tauntings and mockeries to provoke her into the place of prayer, the place of worship called Shiloh, where she went and and in the process of being there, she got the word that she was going to conceive within that year. Don't waste time with Penina. She is not the breaker of your barrenness. Focus on God, because God alone will bring that job. God alone will break that barrenness for your finances and for your spouse and for whatever else you're waiting for, even if it's a promotion. And then Elkanah. Elkanah is someone who, like Penina, is inevitably in your life. They mean well, they love you, but they're talking from a place of ignorance. So don't fight them. Don't disconnect from them. Just don't follow their advice. It's not a big deal. You don't have to confront the issue. Just know he hasn't got the revelation. She hasn't got the revelation, but I'll continue to pursue. And you go on with your life. And the other thing in a season of waiting is to, of course, understand the dangers and the snares that you may encounter. And one of the worst dangers and snares in this season is trying to take things into your own hands and do it your own way and settle for what you shouldn't settle for, or even become impatient and get tired, or adopt a very negative attitude of victim syndrome and an angry attitude, a frustrated, or even a jealous attitude to those who are already benefiting or they've already got their miracles. But you mustn't. You must remain patient and wait out the season until you conceive what you need to conceive and move on. The other thing, of course, is what lessons are you learning from that season? You must ask yourself, this lesson is not here just to frustrate me. It's not just here to make me feel bad. What lessons can I take out of this season? And what you must take out of the season of waiting and barrenness is that everything good takes time. Everything has a waiting season. Everything has a waiting period. And you must be patient and allow your barrenness to be broken in order to conceive your seed of greatness, your purpose, your financial breakthrough, your spouse, your relationships, whatever else you're waiting God on. And of course, you must discern the time to transition, because the last thing you can do is remain in one season too long. Every season must come to an end eventually, and you must move on to the next season. So you must start smelling the signs of a transition. Suddenly you feel you've conceived your whatever you're getting. The finances are turning around. The spouse is showing up. The right suitor is showing up. The pregnancy is now, you've already become pregnant, or things are turning around generally, and that which you were waiting for is beginning to appear and manifest. Then you must know you're transitioning from a period of waiting into another season from the season of waiting. Are you in a period of waiting? Have you been patient? Are you adopting the right attitude? Are you relating to the people in that season properly and appropriately? And are you wearing the right garments? And are you learning the lessons you need to learn? Are you overstaying in your season of waiting? Or do you know when it's time to move on and transition?